Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Are You Being Loved Up by You? So I am so excited to be here tonight, and I'm so excited to talk about something that's very dear to my heart, and that's my sisters, being a Black woman, Black hair. It's just so important to us. And, earlier when I was talking to the producer, I said to him, Ade, what's the news today? What's been happening? I was thinking a bit about Thanksgiving or what's going on. And he said, Black women and their natural hair, they need to be celebrated because they're beautiful. And he is so right. We are beautiful. All women are beautiful, but we've got that little je ne sais quoi. I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, thank you for joining us. And for those of you that are coming on, don't forget that when you click onto the website, especially if you're coming through the Facebook group, there is a link that says StreamYard Facebook. If you click on that, that just it grants StreamYard permission to show your name. Because throughout the show, we try to be interactive. And so we like to sort of mention who's speaking, who's making comments. And I encourage you to please make comments throughout the evening, because we do speak to them and we'll have our guests answer them if that's appropriate. I noticed my diffuser's going in the background, so I'll move it out of the way. Just keeps me grounded, that's all. Anyway, moving right along. I cannot wait to introduce to you my guest tonight. She's a beautiful Black woman from Brooklyn, New York. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you that. She's going to tell you herself. Oops, I didn't say that. You don't know where she's from. But I've got a wonderful woman. Her name is Debra Hare-Bey. And Debra is going to talk to you a bit about, well, you know what? I'm going to let her tell you. Let's bring her on. Let's bring on Debra. Hello, Debra.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me, Michelle.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's so lovely to have you. It's so lovely to have you.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, before we get into the juicy stuff, what is the weather like in my old hometown?
Sunny and cold.
What's cold?
Sunny and cold. Boy. Heavy cold weather. I'll put it
like what kind of Fahrenheit we're talking about?
I would lie if I said I knew what the temperature was, but
it's cold.
50s, 40s.
Oh, okay, it's not too bad. I think we're in about the 3 to 5 degrees centigrade. We have centigrade in UK and Europe, so it's about the same. So it's that time to get your lovely winter jumper on and
snuggle weather.
Yeah, snuggle up. Yeah,
snuggle weather.
Snuggle up a little bit. I love that. I love that. So, can you tell the audience, Debra, where you're from and where you live?
Yes. So I am from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
I live in Brooklyn, New York, but I see myself as a Southern girl because my family's from the South, Savannah, Georgia. So
I love that. Southern girl. It's like mac and cheese. And
oh my God.
I'm
talking my language. Yes.
It's all that snuggle up food, isn't it?
It is.
Good on the lips, but not necessarily so good on the hips.
Yeah. Not good at all, actually. Not good at all. So.
But it depends on who's looking at the hips. I think if you talk to some of the brothers, they'll be like,
very true.
Some more mac and cheese, girl. Get it down. You get it down.
My husband teases me. He goes, you can go ahead and do all of that weight thing, but let that butt go. Now we have a problem. Yes.
I'll just leave it at that. Well, all my friends and anybody that knows me, that knows that I've got my Caribbean curves, and one of my assets you see before you see me most of the time. But anyway, we're digressing. I'm sorry, folks. For those of you who don't really care about my assets. Let's keep it moving. So tell me a little bit about your passion, your company. It's called OMHH Inc, which stands for
Oh My Heavenly Hair.
And tell me, why did you call it that?
So here's the thing, Michelle. When I'm really fortunate enough to have God give me ideas straight through. And so I was literally working and that idea came. 1, 2, 3. Oh My Heavenly Hair. And then you move forward and create. And that's exactly how it happened.
Oh, I love that.
And I was so thankful for that because it really speaks to the respect that I have for hair. Specifically natural hair, because that was a choice for me. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, but I chose to do natural hair. So it makes sense.
Hold that thought because we're going to come back to that. That's juicy. That's juicy.
Yes.
But speaking of hair, I have a little bit of hair envy. I'm loving the color.
Oh,
And when I get to New York, I need you to hook a sister up.
yes, 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 yes. These are my fantasy locks. So we'll talk about that later.
Fantasy locks.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes,
Ooh.
fantasy locks. Yes.
Bring it on. I love that. Fantasy
Yeah.
locks. I could do with some of that.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have to tell my other half. What do you think about me getting some fantasy locks?
He'll love it.
I'm sure he will.
He'll love it.
He might not know what it means, but he'll like it anyway.
Absolutely.
So, do you have a spiritual practice or a ritual that you know, do on a regular basis, on a daily basis? Is there something that you would like to tell us about?
I do. So I use the opportunity when I'm out. I'm not a wake up and pray girl as I know that I should, but I don't let a moment go by when I am out and I am walking to be thankful. And I use that time to speak to God and thank Him for all of my blessings.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that because when you're outside, you're with nature, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So you're really connected. So I love that you said that. That's quite lovely. Ooh, ooh. And anything else that you do? Or is that your main thing? I mean, that's fine.
That's my main thing. I mean, there are lots of other things that I do, but we'll talk about that as the time comes.
Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
So I call the series "Are You Being Loved Up by You?" And it's a very British expression.
Yeah.
But I just ask everybody, you know, whether you know the expression or not, what does that sort of mean to you? How does that sound to you? How does that feel to
Sounds
you?
like self-care to me, right?
It
So
is.
the expectation that someone is going to love you more than you doesn't even sound right, right? And so are you being loved up by you? Yeah, you should be, right? You should love yourself. A perfect example is when you're flying, they'll tell you to do what? Put your air mask on first, right? Yeah. So you have to take care of yourself first.
That's right. And I love that. I love that. And I mean, we're going to talk a bit more about self-care and self-love, but what are some of the things that you do to love yourself more?
So unfortunately, I'm not hearing you clear, babe.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is there anything that you do to love yourself more? You're not hearing me. Oh dear. Let's see what's going on here. Not hearing anything.
I can hear you.
Okay, let's see.
Now I can.
Can you hear me now?
Very clearly.
Okay, sometimes we have a little bit of a blip. So thank you for letting me know. That's great. That's great.
You're welcome.
So I was just saying, in terms of self-care, is there anything that you kind of do for yourself?
I do. So I think we all very hard on ourselves, right? We're high expectations and we have a long laundry list of things that we expect ourselves to do and be good at, right? As I've gotten older, I am more gentle to myself. I'm kinder to myself. And so the expectation is that I do 1, 2, 3. If I only get to 2, that's okay. If I only get to 1, that's okay. Right? Good effort, right? Tomorrow is another day, God willing.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think most of us are guilty, especially those of us that are mothers or have several things juggling, you know, the job, the other half, or no other half, but 3 jobs, you know, sometimes, you know, we're single parent, we've got all this going on. And so we're walking around with this S on our chest, you know, I'm superwoman. And the reality is,
Michelle, I don't want to be superwoman.
Exactly.
Do not.
It's superwoman burned out here like, that's the kind of superwoman you're gonna be.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let you know, Deborah, we're getting some comments from the audience. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for your comments. I see we've got some hi beautiful ladies from Eva coming in. And Claudia says, evening, Michelle and Deborah. Joanna said, nice.
Evening.
And we seem to be having a hello from Andrea Stewart Welsher. I'm sorry, Andrea Stewart Welsher. Hi, Andrea. Getting some more highs, but no names because I can't see them. But someone did say, which supports what you just said, we are always so hard on ourselves. It's so true. And someone else said, Michelle, darling, inspiring words of wisdom. Guys, if you click on the StreamYard link, if you're in Facebook, then I can see your names. Otherwise, I can't. And Eva said that you've got a very unique name. So that's
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
I
Yeah.
thought a little bit fitting, hair for hair.
Hair for hair.
Hair,
Oh,
my last
really?
name is Hare-Bay. So yeah.
Well, I believe there's nothing that's coincidence. Everything happens intentionally.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just don't know it at the time.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about you and self-care. So I want the audience to know that even though Deborah doesn't want to be called a superwoman, she kind of is a special one because she's got a few hats that she wears over that beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm.
She is a stylist, she's a cosmetologist, she is the owner of Oh My Heavenly Hair.
Yes.
I might rename it for you, My Beautiful
I'll take
Heavenly.
that too.
I just want 10% of the proceeds, by the way.
Yes, yes.
And she's also a health coach, which I think is wonderful. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about all of those hats that you wear very well and how you wear them. But one of the things that came up tonight, we were warming up and prepping, we were just talking about the myth of the Black woman and the Black hair.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to know if you could speak to that because we've had a natural hair revolution for Black women in the last, what did I say, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah.
You know, where a lot of us are going back to natural, and that's no offense to anybody who wears a weave because I've been one of the biggest weave wearers, and it's no offense to anybody who relaxes their hair. But do you want to speak to that a little bit?
There's so many myths. I'm going to stick with or talk about the one that we don't love our hair or even like our hair. Now, we got there because it was not accepted, right? And so it's not internally that we didn't like it. We wanted to wear it, but could not. And so the myth that we don't love our hair, that would not be true. Right? Because that is the same as not loving yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why you have this revolution happening, because women and men are really proud and coming into their selves and want to make a stand and say, I do love myself. Hence, I love my hair and want to wear it and be proud of it.
Yeah. And this is what God gave me. Absolutely. This is mine. This is part of my glory.
Absolutely.
And those of let's just say others that don't understand it or like it, they, you know, are getting to see our hair in really beautiful styles and colors and getting to appreciate it and, you know, wanting to do the same thing. You know, one of the people that I love to use for guided meditation, his name is Kenneth Suarez, I think. I'm not pronouncing his name correctly. Sorry, Kenneth, if you're listening in. And he's Norwegian and he has dreadlocks. I love it. Yeah, I love it. He's a white guy with dreadlocks. So that's so beautiful. So tell me a little bit how you've merged the importance of taking care of your hair and your health, you know, combining that health coaching. How do you approach that? Do you sort of talk to the client when they're in the chair? Is it an afterthought? Is it, you know, you tell us, I'll zip it, you tell me.
So just to be clear, it is one and the same. Health and hair, same thing. Right? You can't actually have healthy hair without having a healthy body, right? And so the approach of attaining and maintaining healthy hair actually comes from diet, exercise, good mental thoughts, the way that you maintain your hair, the way that you comb your hair, and loving words. We want to take that out, right? The negativity, that has an effect. Stress has an effect. And so we talk about how I approach my clients. I'm always talking about health, but that's not where I start. Because for some people, don't tell me about my health, right? That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get my hair done. And so you listen, you give them what you want, you give them what they want, but you get the health. You come around the back and you put the health in, right? So you talk about, hey, so you know, in order to have your hair grow, how much water are you drinking? And, you know, kind of what are you eating? And so that's not the first approach. Yeah, absolutely. As do I, right? So that is not the direct approach, but it's certainly in there as a mainstay because you can't have one without the other.
Exactly, exactly. And I love that because I know that when I go to my hairdresser, and hopefully she's listening tonight, she's amazing,
Yeah,
Azores, who does my hair. But one of the things that I know is when I go to the hairdressers, it's therapy sometimes. It's a therapy
absolutely.
session. I mean,
Absolutely.
between her and my personal trainer, I feel sorry for them because I walk in, I'm like, "Ah, this is what happened to me this week, you know, or
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what I did today, or this is what he said, or this is what she said, you know." And so when you get into that calm position and they're doing the massage, or they're adding the hair, or they're doing the
yeah,
color, or they're doing
yeah,
whatever beauty that you need,
yeah,
that's an opportunity when you're now sort of relaxed, you've let go of that stress.
yeah,
We talked about that last week, letting go and releasing. So you've
yeah,
released all that and you're in a calm space, you're able to listen, and you're available now. You're available to hear what your stylist is saying. So I can see that that would be the time when you step in and say, when you said this,
yeah.
made me think that maybe you need that. Am I correct? Is that how you might do it?
Absolutely. So I will say, and your stylist could probably concur, is that that is our opportunity to build up our clients, right? Because you don't often get
Mm,
that in the world. You don't get that, right? We generally get to beat down, not to build up. Right.
that's
And
right.
so I use that time to tell them how beautiful they are and their hair is amazing and all the things that a parent would. I'm not their parent, but it is coming from a loving place, right? To
Yeah,
make sure that
yeah.
they're getting not just their hair done, but that mental health piece,
That's
right?
so
That's so
wonderful.
important.
That's so important.
Yeah.
And, I just want to tell you some of the wonderful things that we're hearing. So, the comments from the audience, one lady said, I have extreme hair loss, and that might be due to a thyroid condition or hereditary. Do you
Yes.
know anything about that? Are you able
I
to speak
do.
that
I
a
do.
little bit?
So
That'd be
thyroid
lovely.
is can potentially have you experience hair loss. My mom has a thyroid issue and she does have hair loss.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the thyroid medicine is another way or cause of hair loss. So that's an unfortunate thing, but there are options. So we have all sorts of weaves and there are things that you can do.
Okay, so could I have this particular guest if they wanted to, or viewer, I should say, if they wanted to reach out to you and ask you a question, can I have them email
Absolutely.
you?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So Ade, if you have Debra's email address, when you get a chance, put it up there so that the guests can send some questions to Debra. That would be really appreciated. Thank you. And so let's see what else we're hearing. Some lovely things. One of a beautiful woman we have here, Aura. Aura said, "I've started to tell my hair words of love. How bouncy you are. You
Yes.
smell great." And
Yes.
and she says something really important here. After growing up and disliking my afro hair and
Yes.
was relaxing it as a teenager, she's now embraced it. She's now embraced her
Yeah.
natural hair. And
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, not even so much when I was growing up, but even five years ago when my mum was alive, she used to say to me, "Oh, I don't like your hair like that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" She
Yeah.
said, you need to straighten it. You need to
Yeah.
get that stuff out of there. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is me. This is how I come. This
Yeah.
is the package.
Yeah. But you have
Like
to
it or
remember,
not.
right? That is stuff that was put on us, right?
Yes,
Consistently,
of
right? And so
course.
now we have to break down those stereotypes and we have to break down the hurt and the pain, right? To
Absolutely.
unveil the beauty and the love, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And some other wonderful comments. Helen says, I love Deborah. Always says she's drinking copious amounts of water. And it's true, Helen.
Yeah.
I know that if that's what she's saying to you, it's true. It works. It
Yeah.
works. It's not just the skin; it's the hair, it's the body, it's everything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you
Yeah.
mentioned that, Helen. Thank you. And Helen said about you're getting all the compliments from Helen. She said you
Oh,
have better skin than many folks in their 20s.
oh, and I'm really old, so thank you. I'll take that.
Oh no, you're as old as you feel.
True.
And Addie, I can't see some of the messages above there. I think I missed a couple. Eva says, love yourself, love your hair, healthy
Absolutely.
living, healthy living.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ade, are you able to scroll down any of the other messages? I think I may have missed a couple. I'm not sure, but I'll
I
leave them
see
to
a
do with
picture
as
of
well.
Eva. She's quite beautiful. And I
Oh,
love her hair.
I know. Another
Yeah.
sister with the hair. Oh, look at that. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody said, because I can't see their name, have you heard of Cheryl for hair growth? No, I've not heard of it. But
No.
whoever you are, please put it in the chat. We'll take it. We'll check it out. Or
Yeah.
is it Chebby? I don't know. I'm not sure what you wrote, but could you rewrite it? And we'd love to check it out later on. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a bit more about the hair and the color. How did you devise that? I love it. How did you come about such a beautiful color? I love it.
So I love talking about color. I
Yeah.
started playing around with color and this sort of fantasy color, fun color, as I was older. And the reason I love color so much, one, it's therapy, right? Because it's an opportunity to not take yourself so serious and enjoy life, have fun, right? There's so many things, there's so many demands on us.
Yes.
Job provided, right? Because if you
Yes.
have a very conservative job, then you can't do something like this. But certainly I have each one of my clients wear a fun color. And it goes from one fun color to two fun colors to three fun colors. And before you know it, now they're in this zone of, fun,
I
right?
love it. I
And
love it.
so, I love, I can't tell you how much I love color. And it's fun. It's not on my scalp, right?
Yes.
It's as an extension, right? And
Okay.
so no damage, just pure play.
I love it. I love it. No damage of pure play. I love that.
Yeah.
And we love a bit of play,
Yes.
We can
Yes.
play in so many ways. And I
Yes.
love that. The hair is part of it.
Yes.
I love makeup and I love hair and I'm always changing my hair. But part of that is the play. It's almost, I don't know, for me, it's an enhancement. It's not me trying to be something I'm not, but it's adding to all the things that I feel that I am. It's a bit of sensuality. It's a little bit of sexiness. It's a little bit of ooh la la. It's a little bit of mystique,
Yes. Yes.
I wanted to take a 30 seconds to brag about a really interesting situation. So this morning I went into the shop, braids were out.
Yeah.
I had my mask on. I have this really big mask. Some reason I've got this big one and I hate wearing it, but it was the only one in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm in the shop, the little corner shop, busy picking out what I wanted to eat. And African brothers walking out. It's like, oh, my sister, how you? I'm a chatterbox. I talk to everyone. And then I'm, walking to the counter and I see him skidding around the corner maybe 10 minutes later. I'm like, hi. He goes, hi. I said, oh, hi. He said, do you live around here? And I was like, yeah, I do live around here. He said, oh, I drive through here to go to where I work every day. And I'm thinking, oh, nice for you. Thank you for sharing,
Right.
So I'm about to pay. And he says, hey, I'm in the wrong angle. Let me go this way. Can I get your number?
Uh-oh.
I don't think so. But thank you anyway.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, you're so beautiful. I love your hair. I said, thank you. My husband thinks that too. I'll let him know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love
So
it.
that was number one. Then later on in the afternoon, I'm picking up a cup of coffee. I'm in Starbucks and I've got this big hat with a star on it. I love it. It's a grey hat. I bought it in Germany. It's got a big glittery star.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for my hot chocolate to be made or whatever it was. It was a mocha. And this guy comes in this construction outfit, not a black guy.
Yeah.
Black guy comes up and he says, oh, I saw that glittery star when I walked in. It was just blinding me. And I said, because I am a star. I am blinded. So he's laughing. Well, it's ensued into a 10-minute conversation. I was like, am I being picked up with a mask on? That means I got it going on. If you can get picked up with a mask, so girl, you better all go out and get some braids because you can rock braids with a mask, apparently.
I'm so glad you said that. Yes, because there is a notion that braids are not sexy, they're not beautiful, they're not attractive, and they're all of those things. And then some, right?
Absolutely. And then some.
And then some.
And I wanted to mention Janet Pinedo, a wonderful, wonderful woman that I've known for many years from Janet. I think I've known you since primary school. So it was about 10 years ago, something like that. Wow. Anyway, Janet says, hi, Michelle and Deborah. So great to see you both and for the discussion tonight. I stopped relaxing my hair for over a year now, and I'm building a new relationship. My natural
hair. I love that.
Isn't that great?
That because it is a relationship,
Janet.
Right? It is a relationship.
It is. And Janet hit the nail on the head. It is a relationship. And we have a relationship with all of ourselves, right? Our body, our hair, our face, our mind. If we all thought about it in that way, then we would be kinder to ourselves, like you said earlier. We would be kinder to ourselves. Yes. And
here's
Helen,
the thing, Michelle.
Yes.
Natural hair is a give-get. You give, you get. You don't give, you don't get.
I Love that.
Yeah.
Say that again. Say that again. I want the audience to hear that.
Natural hair is a give, get, right? You give, you get. You don't give, you don't get. And we think that we can just have it without the commitment. No such thing. Have to.
So when you say the commitment of loving it, taking care of it.
Absolutely. And what do we all want? We want long, thick, amazing hair, right? Well, that takes work.
That's right. Like anything else that you want. I love that you said that. And I think we don't always think about that. We just think, oh, because, we all suffer from a little bit of, I want what the other person's got. When it's straight, I want it curly.
No such thing. No such thing. Even if you have a bald head, at some point you got to shave it, right? So you got to do something, right?
We'll have to ask our producer about that, because neither of us have got bald head, but he does. So.
Yeah, you got to put oil on your head to give it a nice shine. So you have to do something, right?
You got to do something.
You got to do something.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to know, Selena said, just coming back to some of the comments, Selena in our audience said the product is called Chebe powder. Chebe. So I tend to think, Selena, maybe is that an African product? The name Chebe sounds African. Maybe I'm not, but please educate me.
I think so,
Thank you. It is an African product.
Yes.
And does it, so something does it work?
I haven't heard it. I don't know much about it.
No, but Selena, anything that you can share with us, please do. We can't get enough information. We're here to share and learn. So please do. We know one person has all the answers.
Yeah, I've colored my locks about.
Claudia in the audience said, I colored my locks about 5 years ago, and I love how it looks and how it makes me feel.
It looks beautiful from what I can see.
Yeah.
Ask me what color it is, because I can't see the color.
I don't know. What color is it, Claudia? Can you put it in the comments? I know that she has sort of red on the ends, and she puts it up in a beautiful sort of crown. That's what I would call it. She looks like a high priestess when she wears it, and she's tall and elegant. So she kind of walks like this with the hair. I love it. So I think, but you can educate us and let us know. Helen said, "Way to go, Michelle. Don't be surprised other men find you beautiful. We sisters have a glow and a glory they can't ignore." Snap, snap. Oh, you said it, Helen.
Yeah.
What a girl.
Yeah, that is it. You hit it in the head, Helen.
Thank you, Helen. Helen, do you want to be my new best friend so you can just keep giving me lovely compliments? I love that. It works for me. It's a good bribe.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But, I think it's so important that we're having this discussion, because many of us are struggling with that transition. Some of us want to go natural, but we don't know how it look at work. What will my family think? What would my partner think? And you and I talked about that a little bit. What did you say about that? We were talking about how some people are concerned about changing their hair because of what the partner says. We'll come back to Helen's comment. Don't worry. We'll come back to that. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What, some clients are saying that, they want to go natural, but they're afraid of what their partner might think and feel. I mean, what's going on there? What do you think that's all about?
So that is true, Michelle. There's the apprehension. Although we are in a better time in terms of how natural hair is received. And then with, and I can't think of the name of it. But I'll come back to that. So it is a real concern. Yeah. And I think that is something that you should do, because it is representative of how you feel on the inside. And it's worthy.
Yes.
Right? It is worthy of you pushing through, right? Because it's validating, not just validating for you, but it's validating for the person that gets to see it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I think, like you said, there's a history behind it, right? We've been told for so many years that, our hair isn't good enough, so we need to change it. We need to make it look more European. And so now we're in an age where we're taking that back. We're like, no, it's my hair and I'm proud of it. But even within that, you're still sort of struggling with, I want to get from here to here, no pun intended. Yeah. And how do I do that? How do I get from here to there? And so I think, Debra, what you're saying is just stick with it. You might not find that right style right away. You might not find that right color. Right. You might not even have the right stylist. I mean, it might even be that, because I'm fortunate, and I sense that your clients have the same thing, but I'm fortunate that I go to my stylist and I just sit in the chair and she'll say, what do you want to do this week? And I'll say, that's your department. I come here
Yes.
to check out. I'm
Yes.
not worried about that.
Yes.
Because
And that's a beautiful thing. That is trust.
Yeah.
Right? Which means that you have a very good stylist, right? I do want to go back to what I couldn't remember. It was the Crown Act. And so the Crown Act, right, is our, the Crown Act says it is illegal for you to discriminate against natural hair. So and it's gaining momentum, and it goes state by state, but it is against the law now. So
could you just clarify that a little bit, because many of the viewers on the call are from the UK, so they won't even know what that means.
Right.
It's legislation, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
and it's upon each state to take up the legislation so that it will be illegal in their state. And so before, if we were going for a job interview, Michelle.
Yes.
I have braids, you have braids. And the person hiring us didn't have any other reason except that our hair is natural. Well, they can't do that. Okay. Right? Now, certainly with the law, they can, right? But now you're going to get fined. If we can prove that that's what it is, now you're going to get fined. And it's a hefty fine.
Wow, that's beautiful. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I just want you to be clear, right? I want our viewers to be clear. Natural hair, it's not because it's not attractive. It's not because it doesn't fit in the workplace. It is because we feel comfortable and we are okay looking the way we look, the way we would naturally look. We don't want to look like somebody else. And if you have that sort of self-love, now we got a problem. Because you don't want to look like me. That means that you're going to push back. And so if I can control your hair, then I can control you, right?
So we're challenging the institution now, right?
Absolutely.
We're challenging what people consider should be versus what is.
Absolutely. And you know all too well, our hair can fit into any environment. You want conservative? I can give you that. You want formal? I can give you that too. You want sexy? Got it. You want fun? Got it.
Love that.
You can do it.
That's pretty deep, and I think we could have another half-hour conversation about that. So I think I'm going to have to bring you back on that one, because that's a deep one, you know. Just giving you some updates. So Claudia came back and said her hair is currently red and cold.
Oh, that's so pretty. Pretty,
And I see that Judy Sai. Hi, Judy. Oh, Judy's calling in from Staten Island. Wow. Judy, please repeat your question, because I don't know which one you wrote, but just write the question again and then your name next to it, so we can just, you know, acknowledge your comments. I appreciate that. So Holly, somebody else said something, but I can't seem to go back to it. But Egil, who is Russian, so I love this. Egil said, Debra, I wanted to ask your professional opinion about LED hairbrushes. Did you come across it, and have you had any results with it? Can you tell me? I don't know anything about an LED brush.
Yeah, I have not used it. I am familiar with it. It is a way to stimulate growth. And so I would advise you to do a bit more research. I would advise you to talk to your hairstylist about it. But I have heard both. So if you have not severe hair loss, like some forms of severe alopecia, then it can bring hair back. Say if you have a mild case of hair loss, it can bring hair back. But if it's a very large portion of your scalp, or where you've had it for a very long time, meaning hair loss, is not going to work.
Okay.
But again, do your own research.
Perfect. That's great to know. Yeah. And guys, you know, we're going to be wrapping up in the next sort of 5 or 10 minutes. But if you do have any more questions, please put it in the chat and we will come back to it and answer your questions afterwards. And Judy Sai was saying that she was asking about the Chebe powder. So she wanted to know more about it. So I think it's in there, but if not, Judy, we'll come back and we'll let you know. All right. And Egil said, thank you so much for answering that question.
Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. I just want to say hi to Helen. We go way back. So thank you, Helen. Yeah.
Oh, Helen, thank you for supporting us tonight. That's wonderful. So as Ali did, he put on the screen ohmyheavenlyhair.com. That's Debra's
Yes.
website. If you want to ask any questions or learn more about what she does, or if you're in New York and you want to get hooked up, that's the place to go. Now we know. So I'm just going to wrap things up a little bit now. And I just wanted to mention to you my favorite quote that I say to all my guests. And it's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And she says, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I, as somebody who's a relationship coach, like to look at things from a positive. So how would you say that represents you if you weren't comparing yourself, but you were talking about yourself in a positive manner? How would you say you relate to that quote? What would you say?
I first have to agree and say that's a really true statement, right? Because we are oftentimes comparing ourselves to people, right? To our dismay, right? Because you're never going to amount up to everything. And it's kind of unfair, right? So at the end of the day, I am me. I'm simply just me, right? And I've grown to really love me.
That's right.
I feel blessed that God made me exactly how I am.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I often say I love me first, I love me second, and I love me some more.
Oh, I love that. Right?
I love me first, I love me second, and I
And
love me
sometimes
some
it's
more.
okay to be selfish, right?
Of course.
We're so busy thinking about everybody else and us last. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Because then you're running on empty. You can't help anybody.
Yes.
So if you build yourself up and you make yourself strong, empower yourself, loving, caring, and people see that you exude that. People are attracted to that. So that's the other thing people forget about. I always, when I'm coaching my clients, I always give them an example of when I lived in Brooklyn and I'd see a really overweight Black woman walking down the street and she's wearing something that's too small, but you can't tell her any different because she's walking around like, I know I got it going on. And there's a part of you that's like, you know what? She does have it going on. I mean, I wouldn't wear that, but sister, if you can rock it and you feel like you can rock it and you look like you're rocking it, you're rocking it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're looking great.
Absolutely.
And I think
who am
that's
I to tell you? Who am I? Right? So
I have a very good friend that says, if you like it, I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's called self-confidence.
That's self-confidence. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So we're going to start wrapping up the show now, Debra. And I just wanted to ask you, what one thing would you like to impart with the audience about these challenging times? What one thing would you like to say?
Be kinder to yourself. Be safe, right? Health is premier. If this time hasn't showed us anything else, it showed us our health, right? And so you may want to put that last. You may put it on the back burner. You may not want to deal with it, but you have to, right? You have to eat better, right? Your mental state, which is so draining right now, we have to find a happy space, right? Whether that's walking down the street and looking at the flowers, whether it is that you go back and flash back to a better time, right? Stress serves no one well at all, right? So be kinder to yourself. Health is premier, right? And I have to end on healthy hair, right? Right? You have to aspire to have healthy hair, right? Hair wellness, right? Which is my thing. Hair wellness. Right?
I love that. All right, ladies, we've got to talk about some health wellness. We've got to take care of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wrap up by giving you a few more comments. Eagle again said, thank you so much. That was very important. Get that tongue back in. That was very informative and positive. Yeah. And someone else, unfortunately, I can't see your name. It says, my favorite two ladies, both should be how to comfortably love myself so I can love others. Yeah. Is that Meredith? I wonder if that's who's saying that.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, thank you for your wonderful comments. But Debra, this has been really, really a fabulous conversation. And I feel like I've learned a lot. And there were quite a few things that you said that gave me goosebumps. So thank you so much for sharing your day with us, because it's afternoon in New York. So thank you.
You're very
Stay
welcome.
warm and snuggled up. and have a little mac and cheese for me?
Oh, for sure. If you don't mind, may I give them my Instagram page?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
So
please.
I would love for you all to stay in contact. Michelle has it on the screen. It is at _ OMHHINC.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And we'll put that in the chat as well. So for those of you that don't see it. And I love Debra's Instagram page. Check it out. She's got some great videos. She's got lots of great information. We can all learn from it, but we can also love it too. It's really lovely. So
Yeah.
Debra, thank you so, so much.
It went way too quickly,
Amazing.
Michelle.
I know. We're going to have you back. We're going to have you back.
I would love that. I would love that.
I would love that. And, hopefully I'll be there once we get on the plane and get back to doing what we used to do.
Yeah.
I'll be coming to visit you really soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much. To you too. Thank you, my darling.
Okay.
I'll see you after the show. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. So guys, that was the wonderful and beautiful Debra teaching us about hair, teaching us about the importance of loving yourself, loving your hair as well, loving who you are. I hope if you walked away with one of the things that I would always tell my clients is there's nothing more important than self-love and self-care. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at JoySpot UK. We might flash it up again so you could see that. It's on Instagram. I'm at JoySpot UK. That's one place you can find me. And also, again, as we're moving into the Christmas period, I've had a few calls about people wanting to gift some coaching sessions. So I have a link that you can reach and link onto that and ask about anything that you want to. I give a 45-minute free, what I call a discovery session, and we can talk through it, or whoever you want to gift it to. And you can make that appointment on calendly.com/joyspot/discovery45. So one more time, that's https Calendly. I think I better spell it because I can't seem to speak tonight. CALENDLY.com/joyspot/discovery45. We'll put that in the comments so you can get to it. But guys, I just wanted to say that it's been beautiful. It's been real. This is wonderful to share this time with you. This is on replay. So those of you who are watching it later on, so glad you can join us. And we've got 2 more sessions coming up, 2 more episodes, I should say, 2 more episodes coming up. I feel like I'm coaching right now. That's why I'm saying sessions. But we've got 2 more episodes coming up before we take a little break for the Christmas. But in the meantime, thank you for tuning in. Be wonderful, be happy, be joyful, and shine your light. Thank you.